Am I not the main guy? What's going on here?
You are the main guy.
Always the main guy, Dave.
But we're off the wrong. I'm off the wrong screen here. I don't know what to make of this. Okay, wait. Maybe let's try that. There we go. That was weird. I think it was Kevin's fault. Okay, well, hello everyone, and good evening for all mankind. Season 5, Episode 10, the finale of Season 5. This land is our land. It aired on Friday, but here on Monday in 2026 on Live Long and Podcast, we're just getting started. Whether you join us live on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or catching the audio version wherever you get your podcasts, our mission to watch every episode of For All Mankind continues. One Titan discovery, one Martian uprising, and one history-defining moment at a time. And now this is your captain speaking, and after watching Leonid stroll into the M6 command center like it was a self-guided tour, I'm feeling pretty uneasy. But unlike him, I promise not to burn you. I'm your host, Dave Mader, and this finale, it just wasn't about survival. It was about revolution, discovery, sacrifice, the birth of a new world. Titan delivers proof of extraterrestrial life. Mars declares independence, and Kelly Baldwin makes the most heartbreaking and heroic choice of her arc, I would say. And we got a great panel once again. Well, half of them are here. Hopefully, the rest of the crew will trickle in. Coming in first, she's tuned into every emotional beat. Kelly sacrificed the Titan's crew terror as their oxygen dwindles, and the moment Mars finally steps into its own future. When the personal meets the political and the stakes turn cosmic, she feels every shockwave. It's Heather Narduzzi.
Hello, all. Welcome. I'm very excited because it's lilac time. So I'm enjoying the lilacs despite the very sad goodbyes we had to say this episode. I know everybody's real sad, especially Kevin, I can tell.
Especially Jody. Wait till he gets here. But, speaking of which, coming in next, while we still have him, while his internet holds out, he's tracking the strategic fallout of a planet-wide turning point, the coup on Earth, the ceasefire from the M6, the SDM's ambush, and the moment Mars declares independence. If there's a power shift brewing anywhere from Titan to Happy Valley, he's already mapping the new world order. It's Jeff Mader. That was Jeff's intro. But also, he's tuned into every moral dilemma this finale throws at us. Kelly's final choice, Leonid's infiltration, and Dev's desperate sprint, and Alex risking everything to stop a war. When ethics collide with revolution, he's got thoughts. It's Kevin Millard.
Where are your thoughts, Kevin?
He is a man of few words, really. So, I think he's having some major issues. Of course, also with us once again tonight, following the money, the motives, the political fallout, the coup on Earth, the collapse of the M6, the economic shockwaves of Mars independence, and the global implications of Titan's discovery. If someone's hiding the real story, he's already found the leak. It's Adam Woodward, everyone.
Good evening, guys. I am so happy we're at the end of this journey.
I thought you would be. Blinded by the light.
Kevin was here to celebrate it with me, but he's frozen again.
He's frozen once again. He's having some issues. And of course, he's in the engineer's chair as Titan systems fail. Mars infrastructure collapses, and the season's biggest technical gamble either pays off or blows up spectacularly. If something breaks, mechanical, tactical, or human, he's the first to explain why it failed and how it should have worked. It's Jody Simpson.
Speaking of failures, one of my video lights is dead. So that's why I'm looking kind of dark today.
You're looking a little. You're at the dark side of Jody's face in camera tonight.
I was born in the darkness.
You were born in the darkness. We got Kevin back with us. It looks like, everyone. And maybe Jeff Mader will trickle in at some point as well.
I don't see Kevin. Am I the only one? Oh, there we go.
Having a bad internet night, Kevin.
I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Like, I knew somebody else in North Burlington that was having issues, but Jody seems to be okay. So and he lives around the corner from you.
We're on the same service too, and we're only literally down the street.
And finally, rounding out the panel, Jeff Mader, everyone. I introduced you by accident, Jeff, so I won't repeat it all. But
it was a hell of an introduction, Jeff.
Yeah, I actually thought it was Kevin's intro, and then it turned out to be yours. But
sorry, I missed it.
You had no mention of fault lines, Jeff.
That's good because I wasn't tracking them.
What about
Good.
coolant leaks?
Coolant leaks, perhaps.
Yeah, we got a coolant leak.
Yes, tonight we are talking about the finale of season 5, the 50th episode overall that aired a few days ago on May 29th, written by Matt Wolpert, Ben Nadivi, and Kira Snyder, and directed by Sergio Mimica Gazan. And, well, I've kind of spoiled a bunch of it, but, if you don't want to know anything, too bad. I've already spoiled it. So, yeah, we got the whole infiltration of the M6 Command Center by Leonid. Then they blow everybody up inside and they burn them alive. We'll talk about that. We got Kelly. She dies, everyone, in this episode.
Thank God.
All I could think was Jody was happy.
One down, 10 more to go. All right.
She's Margot outlives her. If you can believe it. And of course we got the extraterrestrial life revealed on Titan, although we kind of knew that was coming. And that's kind of where seemingly Kelly has her final moments in a lake of methane on Titan with some glowing algae, some methane-based life forms.
That reminded me, Jody, of Covenant. A little bit.
Yeah. When we get to that scene, I'll explain something that doesn't make any sense, but.
And, there's the whole battle there, and then it's all about getting to the ceasefire, and then eventually there's a ceasefire, and the brief war comes to an end, and then we get the flash forward to 2020, 8 years after all this, where we see they've revived that Mars, the Soviet Mars ship from the 1990s.
Mars 94, yeah.
Mars 94, and it's being reactivated for
season 3.
From season 3, we saw that whole reactor had failed them in that one. Is Kevin back?
With audio only.
Audio wise,
Kevin?
Still not working though.
I can hear you.
I'll try to come back.
Okay. But anyway, let's just get our initial feelings on the finale. Heather, what did you think? Shrug. That was a big shrug for the audio listeners. Right
there. It's what they were setting up for. I know this is really nitpicky, but I was feeling emotional about Kelly and the plaque and walking out, and then she sees the lake and she sees something and she walks in, and so the first thing as a scientist you do with finding new life in the solar system is just wade right into it. Did you have any concern
she's about to die
that you might be totally destroying everything you just found, Kelly?
It could have been a contamination, potentially. Yeah, I don't know how much those organisms liked her.
The bigger issue is, why was it glowing on the other side?
Well, maybe
on the other side of what?
On
the other side of the lake.
I will say I did like Irina and Aleda working together. And I did like seeing Margot. I loved seeing Will. That was nice to have Will Tyler back for a minute. I thought that was a cool little cameo. Although it didn't really accomplish much of anything. It was just kind of there for the sake of having him there. And I do want to know how next season's going to shake out. But in terms of previous seasons and previous finales, there just wasn't a lot of oomph to this one, I guess.
No, that's not new.
No.
Usually there's something big that happens, and I guess it kind of does, but I can't say I was surprised by any of it. Yeah. Really, it was kind of just like everything they had set up had to be kind of wrapped up, and they do all that.
Yeah. But where's the excitement?
Where's the consequences for some of these characters? Okay.
Yeah, Miles just blew up a ton of people in an airlock, and now he's the president of Mars.
Kelly also risked the lives. At least she took the fall, but she risked the lives of her whole crew to go find this life. Never copped to it. Never
That's a
admitted.
Baldwin thing.
Yeah, but just like even when she knew she was gonna die, she could have said, the whole reason you're here is my fault.
I cooked the books on the trajectory, and all that self-doubt you had, Walt. It was actually all my fault.
Like the show purposely, I feel like, is missing opportunities for like good like moments like that. Like that would have been a pretty cool like would have been a lot of acting and force behind that moment. Because that's to me like why I feel like she decided to stick behind was her guilty conscience.
And she almost told him, if we recall, like there was a point where she looked like she was going to tell him. So, I was surprised that she didn't confess to it at all.
Yeah, I was, because I guess my guess is that they probably shot it and they cut it from the either this episode or the previous episode.
Maybe.
Just because they didn't, I don't know, they felt like they didn't have time for it. Yeah, and the consequences, like Dev did some pretty bad stuff here, right? In this season 2, like he blew up that habitat thing, and he got that girl killed, and
but Miles killed he has a 20 times higher kill count. And
right. Well, I get okay, and I think like the whole decision here to get Leonid into the command center just so they know where it is, just so that they can fill it with oxygen and then blow it up, right, to kill all like the top commanders, I guess, who were
more an incineration, but yeah.
Yeah, like how do we feel about this as a tactic of the conflict?
Well, did you notice like the quote that Irina says at the beginning of the episode? She quotes Clausewitz. Do you guys know Clausewitz? Adam probably does.
Von Clausewitz.
Yeah, von Clausewitz. But he wrote a book in the 1800s called On War. And basically that's like, it's kind of like the philosophy of war, that book, if you ever get around to reading it. But basically the idea is war is supposed to be only fought for political purposes. Anything other than that, it becomes basically a muddled mess. And then nothing really gets accomplished and everything goes into chaos. It's kind of like and she quotes him in that, war is just an extension of politics. That's the quote she cites at the beginning.
That's completely true,
but there's a lot of debate about that, because sometimes it's not. Sometimes it has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with revenge, or it has to do with, all sorts of different reasons. It's not always just like, a king wants this and that's that. There's a lot. It's more complex, I guess, is the point. And that's why it's debated. That's why it's the philosophy of war. It sets up the episode. I think it's important.
But I noticed that too. But what I disagree with is that I think the people pulling the strings didn't set up the rebellion. Maybe they did. Like maybe we'll find that out next season. But I mean, and what I mean by that is we had the children of Mars who were fighting because they were going to lose their home, or they perceived that. But was it a bigger conspiracy, and there was a bunch of strings being pulled to get to them to this place where they would start this war for the advantage of somebody else, right? And I think that's what you're saying, Jeff. There's more to this than just a little battle in the station.
And I think after like the incineration of those soldiers, I don't know if a ceasefire would hold. Once that information gets back to Earth, and say, oh well, the Marzies, they had to burn them all. It was you got to crack a few eggs if you want to make an omelet, or whatever the rationale would be. And I kind of get that they're fighting for their lives, and they're gonna get killed here if they don't fight back in some meaningful way. But I don't know. It kind of felt like a weird way to get us more on the side of them. I guess gives Miles this moment where he has to make the hard decision. But I think politically, it would have been hard for him to be elected governor to Jeff's point, because he'd be like, well, he might be seen as a hero, but I think he's more likely is going to be seen as maybe not that.
The difference is, it's like, yeah, Earth is still supplying them all their stuff. It's like, it's so unrealistic when you really think about it. Like, yeah, like the Marcy's would have respect for him, but that doesn't matter because they rely on Earth to survive.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
food and air and other things, right? Mainly food, I guess, and somewhat for energy. I don't know what.
It'd be like the American Revolution happening, and then they're like, "No, we still need you, Britain, for all our stuff." You know, it's like it doesn't really work that way. You know?
Doesn't really, exactly.
Yeah. How about you, Jody? What are your thoughts on this finale?
Pretty much the same. The biggest issue I have with this is just the pacing yet again, and they added another 20 minutes to it. So not only do I have slow pacing, I also have a longer episode. Kelly dying is a plus in my opinion. I'm good with that.
Heartless.
I was happy to see Margot, and I know that hurts, but it's true. And Dev being a commoner at the end where he's like planting vegetables or whatever makes no sense at all. I
Kevin
can
doesn't
see
look
Kevin
happy.
now.
Yeah.
He's freezing
Okay.
again.
Oh, and he's frozen.
This is not his night. He had a good tournament, everyone, in the street hockey tournament.
He did,
I think this
yeah.
is some karma maybe coming back his
Maybe.
I
way.
feel like
Karma.
he's got so much to say about this too.
He does. I can tell he does. You know, so he's like, "What the hell is happening here?" I guess everyone has given their thoughts, right?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Oh well, I guess you kind of tacked on
I've been-
Heather there, but
I've been
you know,
chiming in.
yeah.
Look, I think that the actual science fiction part of this episode, which was Titan and Kelly, was good. I was glad they did something with that finally.
Yeah.
And I think she acted very Ed-like and like daughter or father like daughter or daughter like father. You know, she's playing the hero right to the end. She's not taking accountability for how they got there. Another would Ed. Like she's playing that role pretty well. But I still like that part of the episode the best. I thought the battle scenes in the hallways was far too long.
Oh
And to Jody's point, this episode went way long.
Yeah.
Went way long. Yeah, for me it was too long, and I think like I have to disagree with Heather a bit on the scene with like Will Tyler in particular, which I felt was kind of pointless. You know, I guess if you're a fan of that character, it's maybe nice, but I wasn't thrilled by that because he's like she gets him on the phone. He's like, I don't know anything, and I can't tell you anything. I'm like, well, this is not moving the storyline at all.
riveting.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I was excited to see him because I love a callback to a character I liked, but then it was like, yeah, can't help you, Margot. Nice to talk to you. See ya.
So yeah. But the
That was
other thing,
literally the whole thing.
He's like, even if I could help you, I wouldn't.
Yeah, whoever wrote that, it's like I got nothing for these two to say to each other, you
Right.
know. And so, like, okay, then you know what we'll do is they'll talk about that. They'll talk about the fact that they can't talk about anything with each other. Perfect, genius.
I picked up because of curiosity, and then he has nothing to say. So, but the other part of this that made no sense, Dave, is the end. Like it's hardly a finale. There's nothing. I'm not waiting now for season 6. I'm not excited about it.
Well, yeah, because it was like this whole season was like, well, this is how Mars eventually got its independence, and it was basically what these last 2 seasons were about, right? Because they land on Mars and they establish this base in season 3, and then season 4 it kind of grows from this, you know, slightly bigger base, you know, into something more, and then we jump ahead to this season. And it's like, well, now these people, there's so many people there, and there's so many people identify with it. They had to get their independence, etc. But like we've been saying all season, like, so what? Like you could like I don't even know if you need to like you could have like put that into your montage for me, right? Like Mars declares independence at like the beginning of like the season 5 montage, and like I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, you know, like why like it would I don't need that broken out for me as meticulously as they did here. They felt like that was the thing that was going to be the hard sell for the audience in some ways.
They wanted to accomplish a few things. They wanted to bring that Stevens girl on into Mars and onto the show, and so they had to do something that made it make sense for her to come to Mars. So I think that was a big. Honestly, I think that's how they wrote the show, and because they want her there next season. And
Right.
so that's like I think that's a huge part. Okay, we'll put her in the Marines, and there'll be a whole operation where they have to take the base back, and there'll be a struggle, and like I think that was the whole premise for the whole season. Was okay, yes, this will accomplish what we want. We want the Stevens girl on the base. We want Deb to kind of have a strained relationship with Alex. Alex will come into his own more as a character. Miles was I thought he was a horrible character like the whole season. I did not find him.
I didn't like him last season, but I almost hate more what they did with him this season because they turned him into a completely different person in this season, right? So
they also really like we talked about this last. Sorry, Jody. They talked about this last time. We talked about this last time. Is that they lost the moral high ground? Like I don't know who we're supposed to support. I don't know who the hero here is.
Margot.
Well, I guess the M6, the M6 are really the villain. Like the governments of the superpowers are meant.
I think they're all villains.
It's
Actually,
Alex is the hero of the show right now, guys.
Is he?
It's pretty obvious he's the hero of the show.
So in my opinion, he's a very weak, protagonist.
He is.
Yeah.
But
He's just a little baby.
the world does not need any more Baldwins. I think.
Now, I have to say, when they were talking about like going to warn the respective leaders of the ceasefire, and he was like, I know how to get there. Did anybody else think he was going to crawl through the vents, baby style?
Yes.
That would have been better.
That would have been better. And then he got on the bike, and I was like, okay, so it's a captain's yacht situation.
He could do like the little girl in Aliens, where like she's accustomed to walking around in all these like little closed corridor areas and stuff. So he would know all that.
Yeah.
And then,
anyway, it looks like we've lost Kevin, right? Is that official now?
Yeah, apparently
He's bowing out. We might get a voice memo. I see Heather's requesting. So, but
yes, I told him to
I've been
voice memo with his opinions.
I've been trying to hold on for him, but I think we got to get going here. So, we'll jump into the
comment. Morel Enos. Like I don't know again what her role here really is.
Which character?
They brought her, Boyd. They brought her onto the show, and she doesn't do much.
No, she's just kind of
I
like.
think she's supposed to be a replacement, like mother for Alex eventually.
Maybe
That's my.
I mean, she's a really good actress, and I think they wasted her.
Well,
I think
this show she just has one expression, right? Like
yeah. Kind of like sort of constipated, but also,
in between constipated and did I pay my phone bill? Like,
It's called bemused, gentlemen.
Bemused. Oh, well, I just felt with her, it was like we would need to set up the next, like almost the season 6 setup, and like she'll be the muscle, she'll be like the security chief for the new Mars or something, like she'll be the new sheriff or whatever the hell it's going to look like, but like that's sort of what her role is meant to be. But this is really about setting up the end game in a lot of ways to me, which is not that exciting.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, shall we get into the screen?
Shall we? Yes. Okay. Well, let's
have to.
Yeah, we'll try to run through this quick, as quick as I can. Okay, so we start off here as we are now seeing it from Moxie, like the Mars Control Center, as they're kind of trying to figure out where all these like military ships have landed and where they're going and how they're operating. We find out through all this, this pandemonium that the Marsies have relabeled everything. They've moved like the signs around so that the soldiers will be confused by the lack of directions.
Love that.
Yeah.
Don't they have
except they would have the blueprints for the facility.
They do,
they also
but
have kind of like a little GPS units, I'm sure,
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so. It's a different globe, I suppose.
They all got iPhones. See, that's the problem. They couldn't get anywhere because it had Apple Maps. They're like, where do I go?
Where do I go? What do I do?
But the leaders of the resistance here are, they're trying to figure out how they're going to resist, and like some of their tactics they're using, like decompressing certain modules that's forcing the soldiers to go certain ways. And then Aleda this is after Irina talks in, about how they might have to fight back and do some not so savory things. And what the one trump card that they might have is that Leonid, they don't realize that he is with them now, that he's considered a hostage. and that they can use them. Oh yeah, they've got a lot of Aleda here throwing like, "What are you gonna do? Fight them? Are you gonna fight this war? Violence is never the
Did
answer."
anybody feel that her entire course of this episode, literally, she was useless? Like, she did nothing.
Well, she helped them get the communications going again, I guess.
Whatever.
And
walked
she
upstairs
presumably
and
she
said,
got
"I
the
need access to
trajectory to the Titan crew, I guess. But we don't
She
really
works
see-
the problem, Jody.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that what it
Jody.
was? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, she's mainly here to be sort of like the naysayer against like the Marzi resistance because she's established that she's never really been fully with them. She's here for the Titan mission primarily, and she just happens to be stuck here at the time. But if they can figure out where their command center is, they can use Leonid as sort of like their Trojan horse, which we saw in the previous episode that he gives himself up to be brought back in here. So we just kind of see this plan all playing out, and that he'll be the guy to go in and and do some big move, some big power move to help shift the things in their favor. And that is our setup for the episode as it's leading up to the whole burn. And we get our title card. This land is our land. Credits, and then after credits, we get all the news headlines back on Earth. How the M6 troops have attacked the Happy Valley base. Some different footage here from the 2000s. I guess it's the 2010s, right? At this point, 2012, right? And even the UN, many nations at the UN, including the ISN, are condemning all this. The M6 are kind of considered not super popular with the rest of the planet, and tensions are building up. Like we saw that Pakistan and India, for instance, are part of the rival alliances. So it's causing unrest. And listening in her prison cell on the radio,
Clear radio. I like that.
It's a clear radio.
That's good
Is
detail, because a lot of jails have that.
Margot, who concerned. We'll come back to her, I guess. Then we see this shot here on Mars. I did think that like all of these military drop ships kind of flying around the base looked kind of cool. As they're like swarming like things, and then we see that like how they kind of set up here that when Leonid got captured, how they were waiting to be sort of ambushed, so they were gonna point their guns here, and then when the Marines and the rest of the military bust in here, they surrender, and Leonid says, "I am Governor Leonid, and you must take me to your commanding officer so that I can help get you all blown up." So we kind of put this together in the previous episode, but we see more of it from his perspective, I guess, Leonid's perspective, and then he's brought along here.
I have a question about this guy's motivations.
Yeah,
why does he actually like? I thought like when he turned code or whatever, he was just doing it to get away from everyone, and like he would have but then he actually like follows through with this plan he comes up with. When the Soviet government turns on him and they force his wife to renounce him, and he doesn't know where his son is, he decides that he wants to like actually join their cause. And now he's like 100% in. He's willing to go along with this, like ideologically, not just like politically.
Right.
Right?
I thought he was going to double cross them for sure, like the
me too.
Marzis. I mean,
But
It would
he's-
have been smart. It would have been logical for him to
Mhm.
have double crossed the Marzis.
yeah.
Because now he's implicated in mass murder, operation.
An act of war, if you
Yeah.
will. I don't know. Is it a war crime or I don't know. I'm not.
That's exactly what I said when I watched it. I'm like, that's a war crime.
Yeah. We see that he's got.
they forced Lady Macbeth to renounce him, and now that he's done this, like his family's all dead now.
Yeah, because he doesn't kill just like American commanders, but also like Soviet commanders and other M6 nations.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's Kevin.
Is he back?
Maybe
Kevin,
Maybe.
Hopefully.
He's moving.
Everything's
He's
fine now.
Yes, he's back.
Well, Kevin, we're just getting to the part here where Leonid was, he let himself get captured. We find out he has this ankle monitor on, and that's part of the plan to lead them to where the base is, where the M6 nations have their base, and yeah, everything there. But we haven't heard from you at all, so I feel like we should stop here for a minute and get your thoughts.
I don't have many. I'm glad it's over. So this is going to get a bump in my rating just for that.
Were you happy Kelly died, like Jody?
Not necessarily happy that she died, but I was indifferent. She's never been my favorite character. She's kind of like Melba toast or wallpaper.
Let me ask you this, Kevin. How did you feel about the whole plan here to use Leonid as the with the ankle monitor, lead them to the base just so they could fill it up with oxygen and then burn them all?
Well, it was an interesting scene. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, they are trying to kill them,
right? Yeah.
And they've done.
Is it self-defense or is it
I don't know. I at this point, it's just inevitable. It doesn't really matter if it's self-defense or not.
Or is it just war? That's
it's
war.
war. They're at war now.
Right.
It's inevitable. You're gonna get this.
Yeah.
It disturbs me how easily Miles does it, but
yeah, Miles is like, no problem, I'll hit dinner. Here you go.
Yeah, and then they let him run the thing.
And then they elect him like the leader of Mars, right? Which
Yeah.
was a whole surprise. Okay, well, just to keep this moving, we'll go. The next scene after Leonid gets captured and we find out about his ankle monitor is back on Titan, where we saw that German astronaut. She got a pretty bad cold burn here from when her suit was exposed earlier, like last episode, and she's getting treated here by Walt. So like they're I think this is where they still can't get any communication with Mars. And I think Kelly's like, yeah, okay, I guess we have to abort the mission and go home, right? And instead, Kelly just goes to the mobile lab here and she runs another sample that she pulled. She's very sneaky in a very Kelly way. She does some quick science work on the fly just to behind Walt's back, throw that into the Master Cycler. And then this is like, Walt gets all mad at her. And he's like, well, how dare you do that? You got that extra core sample when, we were in a life and death situation. But Kelly.
This is when he finds his backbone.
Yeah. And then he's like, well, I'm taking command back. And she's like, you can't take command back. That's not how it works. And I'm like, okay.
They sounded like a bunch of children here.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
They did not seem like professional astronauts in a life and death situation. They were a little bit too, but it's a TV show, I guess.
It's bad writing.
Yeah. But just as they're getting a little heated, and she doesn't have to reveal that, like she cooked the books on the trajectory. Her little on-the-fly science test pans out as we see the results come up on the laptop. Their fighting kind of continues for another minute or so here until finally the German lady, she's like, look at this, you got to see this. And they look into the microscope and they can't believe what they're seeing. It's an incredible discovery, and they've discovered some form of life here on the planet Titan, a new form of life.
Guys, did you find that like Walt's reaction was a little bit over the top? The fact that Kelly got samples up there, I thought, why wouldn't she get them? She was up there.
Yeah, I thought it was.
She was in the middle of saving somebody, though.
It only makes sense in the context of like, he's like annoyed with her for all the times that she's kind of gone outside of protocol. He's a by the book person and she's not, right? So it's I guess sort of believable, but it's also like, what's the big deal? She was already up there, like her argument. She got the core sample, she came back down, she ran it quickly. Who cares? Like it didn't change any of the result, which was what her argument was back to him. But anyway, they find this life that is not carbon based but methane based, which also gives this revelation that if a different form of life can evolve on this planet, different than how it evolved on Earth. That life is not just on these two planets, but potentially everywhere across the known space. Not just the solar system, and that it changes the whole game. Looking forward, so very exciting, big scientific discovery. But forget all that scientific discovery and science fiction, guys. Let's get back to war. So we go to the command center here of the.
I love the org chart.
The org charts, the figures of the insurgency. This is like a mob,
They really, poor Dimitri. They did him dirty with his photo. Look at him; he's a mess. He's got like a big old Stalin beard, or Lenin, or Marx, or whichever one of them he looks like.
Are these their security photos? I guess so. They're not mugshots, right? But they kind of come across like mugshots in a lot.
Like
I would rather just have a circle that said insurgency in the middle of it.
Yeah, like Margot's moon diagram.
Exactly. Everything here. Anyway, so this is where they're hatching their plan to burn down, like I guess, a room full of commanders. So the governor comes in here, and he immediately turns off the ankle monitor, which says back to the resistance here that where they are, which is like basically the old the police station as it had existed before.
Ed Baldwin's still helping people.
Yeah, with his ankle monitors. And we find out what the plan we don't even know what the plan is until this point, which is to fill it up with oxygen and then ignite the oxygen. Now, the only thing I wondered about that is that if you increase the oxygen to that level, would the people in the room not be able to tell? Would they not be able to sense that?
They figure it out, though.
I guess
they're already burning.
They probably feel really awake with all that oxygen, right? Pure
Ready
oxygen.
to gamble.
Ready to gamble. So yeah, they're like, we're gonna burn them all down, and then Leda's not having it. She is not down with this plan. She does not like any of this, and it does, but the rest of them are kind of like seeing this as like a necessary thing that they have to do in order.
Well,
to
the
save
one guy
themselves.
was supposed to do it, and he stopped because he's like, I can't do it.
This
And
guy,
then Miles is like, no problem, I'll burn people.
Like I will say about this, the Marines did come in guns blazing. Like this is war.
This is war. Like
Marines ever.
I don't know. I thought it was bad, but it was also
Seemed
like
excessive.
if they come in with a bunch of guns and I guess they would have had a chance to surrender, but they can't fight that kind of war against them. So this is what they do. It's is it honorable and noble? No, for sure not. But it's
Asymmetrical warfare.
Asymmetrical. And Miles has to make this argument back to Aleda, and they're about to press the button as this is coming on here. But just when Leonid, his plan was to use the bathroom at like the right time, I guess, to get out of the room before they set on fire. But then they bring in what's his name again? Ilya, who's been recently captured, and he doesn't know the plan here. What Leo did, right? So he's just calling him a traitor and everything else, and he's like, "Let me interrogate him for you, Commander. I will take him away." And the American commander's like, "Oh, sure, that sounds fine." But a little bit of a tension here. Can Leonid get him and Ilya out of the room in time before this all blows up? Ilya doesn't know. Ilya's not wanting to go with it. I won't go. Everything else, and then we have Miles is the one who's going to have to pull the trigger here in each. Anyway, will he do it? Is this where? Yeah, this is where Miles finally does it, right? And Leonid and Ilya just get out of the room in time, and all these soldiers like, this is weird. They don't pick up on any of the foul play here. And just then, Miles, he presses the button. He'll press the button, and it times it well. I guess the spark blows up here, and it's a kind of a cool sequence when Leonid has to like close that hatch before the air sets on fire for him, and get out of there. And they sample the thing here. Ilya runs to see what's happened. Horrific. But Leonid, or I guess Miles is like, he feels like he has no choice but to do this, like other than to surrender, I guess would be his other choice.
But isn't it weird? Like they were making it seem like, no, Miles, like he's the mild manner, everyone likes him, And I was like, when he did it, I was like, I saw that coming. Like, like I wasn't shocked. Like based on last season, I was like, he's totally capable of doing this.
But what they didn't do, it was like barely any reaction in that control room.
This was these. Well, Aleda had the most reaction. She was just like disgusted, right? You got
Well, Irina, like she doesn't care. She like pulled her teeth out first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Irina's like it was a little too clean for her, quite frankly. And you know,
I
like
need I need a tooth to knock on pipes.
like Lee and some of the others are there. You know, no one's happy, but they're kind of just but they kind of maybe are a little that they're.
Wow.
No, it's
Looks like
contagious.
Dave got
All right,
incinerated.
I gotta take over now. This show sucks. All right, Dave's back.
Get us through a bunch of screenshots quickly, Jody.
I don't have any screenshots, or I
Oh,
will.
darn.
Take over.
Sorry,
Hi,
everyone.
Dave.
We thought you were in the control room.
Yeah.
I got burned. Sorry, that's how it goes. All right, where were we? Okay, so back on the screenshots. Anyway, Miles, he holds his head in his hands, and he's kind of broken up for a moment, and then he's like, "I guess I'm pretty badass now."
Yeah, we just said that's his. Wow, I'm a fucking badass.
I just killed
Yeah.
a bunch of Marines. I'm no longer American. I'm a Marzi.
I'm a Marzi now. I've renounced my citizenship. Back on Earth, we see here Margot reading the Houston Sentinel, learning more about the war, whatever she can get from the Earth press, I suppose. But then there's a visitor here to see her, and it's Aleda's daughter, whose name I forget. And they have a scene. What's that?
Graciela.
And the daughter basically wants, she's like, I know you can't really do much from inside prison, but you're the smartest person my mom knows. Can you help find anything about my mom?
Can I get a hold of my mom so I can borrow the car? That's the reality.
She told me I couldn't borrow the car, and I said, and my dad still won't let her. And if I can call my mom, then it would go a lot better.
I've been driving around my mom's car, and I keep hearing on the radio there's something going on Mars.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Titan. This is they're happy about their discovery of the life and everything else, and they still can't tell anyone about it. They made this great discovery, but they can't tell Earth. And then this is where Walt goes, "Ooh, our oxygen's low. We need to get back to the ship." Right? And Kelly goes to fire up the rover so they can drive the 20 kilometers back to Sojourner, but it's needs a boost. Sorry.
This is the world's worst astronaut crew. They suck. Like, what is this? Like, what kind of a plan was this? Like,
Where's the
every
backup
scene-
battery?
Yeah, where's the
Every
backup
scene
battery?
is Apollo 13. Like, what else
Yeah.
can go fucking wrong?
Yeah.
Not only go wrong, they don't even work the problem or like try to like come up with something.
She's
It's
like,
just-
nope, doesn't start. We're fucked.
Yeah,
Well, I was
That's all it
confused.
is.
Like
Yeah.
the battery doesn't work, and the vehicle doesn't work, but the life support still works. Like it seems kind of a little bit selective.
Well, the unit could be docked to the hab, right?
I don't think maybe I don't know, but it seems a little weird to me. Even later on, when they're like, we only have so much power and oxygen left, but they're all like sitting and talking inside the rover before they.
I just want to
decide.
know the logic behind why two able-bodied people wouldn't just go and leave the person who's critically injured. Like,
I
well, I,
thought
guess she's
that
not
as well.
critically injured,
Yeah.
but
No, there
she's
was an
injured
obvious-
enough that she would definitely be a hindrance to the plan.
I thought Walt made the better argument for why he should stay behind, which is like, I'm a man and therefore I burn more oxygen metabolically, so it makes more sense for the two women to go back.
They
you know.
scoffed at that.
They scoffed at that, but that's like an actual like rational like
No way. I would have been like, you're right, sweetie. See ya.
yeah.
I would have just left the person who can't walk fast.
Yeah, I thought it was an obvious.
And why
choice.
couldn't they
They
just
should
go to Sojourner, the ship, and then just fly over to the site and grab her?
I don't know. Like, why didn't they just land the ship here in the first place, or move the ship here instead of
Well,
drive here? But
Because they didn't get, they landed short.
I know, but like the ship can't move 20 kilometers like quickly. Like just go like
They,
little
have,
up.
they had
And
another crew member, right? And
they had two more people.
two more, and they're
There's two
back
more
on
people.
speed.
They're in the ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't talk to them.
No, they lost communication with them at some point.
No, but at that point, it's like when you show up at the door, you kind of knock, get in, and then you say, "Hey, zip over to the site because that one's gonna die in a minute." You know. Like,
Well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. Anyway, back to Mars, where this is like where we left off in the previous episode, where Alex's friend here, Haskell, had been shot by Alex, and he's brought in by what's her name?
AJ.
AJ.
fucking Baldwins, they can't even kill people correctly.
No. So Haskell has to get medical attention here, and we find out like Dev has got his own medical team in here and everything else. They have, of course, all
he's
the medical...
rich, as somebody in our chat already just said.
Well, that's
Dev
rich.
has money, no consequences.
That's rich.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
rich. Yeah.
There you go. Hey, Rich.
Dev has money, no consequences. The most realistic thing,
He's completely right.
I thought actually that Haskell might die here. Like I thought that might be a big moment here for Alex after he accidentally kills.
It would have made more sense for him to die.
But he does not die. He's saved here by by Dev's personal doctors, I guess.
Maybe they're
They'll
saving
live
it
to
for
make inappropriate penis comments another day.
Yeah, but Alex brought in the camcorder that that Lilydale had been using, and capturing all the battle. And then Dev sees this, he'll then take that back. But before that, we have to go back to Earth and Margot, who's calling people from prison. This sequence went on for a while. It was kind of funny the first time. She's like, "This is a collect call. Do you accept the charges?" And they're like, "No." But then it kind of goes on and on. She's crossing all these names off the list.
Were they contractually obligated to have her in this season? Everything with her has been completely useless.
Well, they're like, what can we
Just
do with
a
her
total
inside of a
waste of
prison? Like, what can you really do with her character, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I
And,
kept waiting for them to fly up to Mars to solve a problem.
Yeah, they could have had a problem. Get her up to Mars. I thought she was going to die this season.
yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
And
But
nope.
before that, they'd have to get her out of prison. This is she was shanked in prison.
I, for one, am happy Margot is alive.
What?
We've come a really long way with Jody here. We go and wait for this character to go.
Jody, you're such a contrarian.
This is true. But eventually, someone does accept the charges, and it is Will Tyler who
You
gets.
know what? You were absolutely right. This had no business being in this show.
Really, they could if you want Margot and the daughter to have a scene here, like you don't need Will here. I don't know, maybe because he was on Pluribus, they were like, we need to bring this guy back.
From Sean.
Like, what comes out of any of this?
I wanted her to call Bill Peanut. Bill's still alive, right?
That's
You
who
know?
I thought she was calling.
That would have been a good callback. I'm sorry, Heather.
They wouldn't have done anything with him either.
No.
But she could have called him a name and made him feel bad. That would have been interesting.
Oh, he wanted her to call Peanut and bully him.
Yeah, I'm not signing off on this plan, but they could.
But
but
let's be realistic. That is something the writers probably have.
But I probably would have rather seen Bill than Tyler per se. But anyway, if you're going to bring a character back, or I would have liked to see like Ellen, what if Ellen accepted the charges?
I don't care who it is.
I don't
would
need to
like
see Ellen at all.
Point. Like,
Yeah,
none of this is anything.
I agree. This was the most. It was just filler in the episode. In an episode that was already an hour and 10 minutes long. But
they had 30 minutes of actual stuff to do in this episode, and then they're like, "How can we just fill this puppy out? We need to make this an hour and 10 minutes. Let's just do it."
Why did it need to be an hour and 10? It could 50 minutes
I don't
would have
know.
been perfect.
Yeah.
Considering all the episodes previous to this, well, at least the last 3 were all 45 minutes. So
Yeah, it was just like Margot tried but failed. Anyway, then back to Mars, where now we got Miles and his crew. We see that Ilya and Leonard do get back to Moxie, and they're kind of dealing with the aftermath of this. Leda still disturbed by what's happened here, but just then Miles and the whole crew, they have to run out, and where are they going to go fight people or get ready for the ambush in the promenade area, right?
sounds about right.
So everyone leaves. Yeah, everyone leaves the command center except for Aleda and Arena, I guess, and one guard. As Aleda keeps trying to get the communications reestablished but cannot. And I thought this was one of the better scenes was here between Irina and Aleda in the episode, where Irina's just like, I used to be idealistic like you, but not anymore.
Then I started killing people.
Then I
And
started
liked
killing
it so
people.
much.
We're a bunch of animals. It's fine. Like it's that's how it is. Aleda not really buying it, but through their conversation, basically Aleda eventually gets an idea about the old satellites, that were turned off long ago here on Mars, and that they might still be useful because the military guys won't be looking for them. But they need to go to Dev's section eventually, in order to do this. And I like Irina's like, "Let's go. We have a big, strong man here to protect us." And let him lead the way for us. That's I don't know.
Yeah, he'll get shot first, and then we'll be okay.
We'll let him get shot. Then back with Alex and AJ and Haskell in the thing, as they're Alex still kind of shocked by everything that's he's seen a lot of people die. So him and AJ have this whole conversation about everything they've seen in this 1 day war already, and how vicious and brutal it's been. And how she had killed somebody earlier, and so that's that bunch of things. But eventually AJ is like, I got to go back to my unit. I have to go find my soldiers again. That's my standing order. So Alex gives her a little bit of advice, and they seem to end on pretty good terms here, I guess, for being on opposite sides of this conflict.
But it's a Baldwin in a Stevens combination.
It's a Baldwin and a Stevens, so it is like
they're back.
But Alex, I don't know if she knows he's a Baldwin or not, and I don't know if he knows. He definitely doesn't know she's a Stevens, but
I think she would know who he is.
He's like he's got to be one of the most famous people, right? He was the Mars baby,
He's
right?
The Mars baby. Everybody knows who he is. He's the Harry Potter of Mars.
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't make
the boy who lived.
They don't make any reference to that here.
Well, she says she knows who he is because of the other guy.
Haskell.
Haskell got shot, but
yeah. But otherwise,
I think she knows who he is.
Yeah, she must, right? Anyway, then back on the promenade here, they're all preparing for their ambush because they're expecting all the rest of the soldiers to come in here, and then they're gonna get the jump on them. Lilydale gets reunited with her parents. She's been saved here by Boyd. Hugging, and it's all thanks to Boyd, but it was really because that look like she's forgotten
constipation. And did I pay the bill?
Did I pay my phone bill? Not quite sure.
That's her proud. She's proud there.
But wasn't it kind of Fred? Wasn't Fred the hero here who let them go?
Yeah.
But he's dead, so
he's dead. He's definitely dead. Because remember last week I was like, I don't know if Fred's dead or not, but now I'm sure he's dead from that scene. So because they don't see him again. Then
he's dead.
Yeah, and then we go back to Titan, where this is where Walt and Kelly and the German are all figuring out that they don't have enough oxygen, that they have to walk back to the ship, and a 20-kilometer walk in 1/7 gravity would probably not take that long, but the math doesn't work out. So
if Matt Damon was on that crew, he would have figured it out. He would have solved that problem.
You would have had potatoes to eat.
Yeah. They gave up immediately.
Yeah. And this is where Kelly says, I will be the one to go. And Walt's like, no, it should be me. I'm a man and I have more metabolic oxygen burning.
And the German's like, well, you're taking me, bitches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she does say like, "Oh, I'm hurt." She does say that.
And we find out that Walt has 3 young kids, whereas Alex is more of an adult. So this is part of the calculus here.
Did the German have kids? Seemed like
unclear. If I'm guessing no, because they don't bring it up. So
and Kelly doesn't even like her kids, so it's not really a fact.
Exactly.
She's like, it's fine. I'm a Baldwin.
I'll send him a message. It'd be fun.
Well, she jumped in on that train really quickly. She's like, oh, I don't need to go back and see Alex again.
He's on his way.
I'll just die.
Yeah,
he's on his way.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
he's gonna drive his moon bike.
Walt eventually gives in on this. He got a little bit of tear, but he accepts this order, and that's kind of we know Kelly's going down at this point. Back to Mars. This is where Dev is looking at all of Lily's footage from some of the initial skirmishes and battles, and this
What they
affects
don't
Dev.
show is the 10 minutes of him trying to import it and it not working correctly because it's a fucking Mac.
Yeah,
But
but Kevin, how do you feel about?
It's HDMI 2, Dev. Try HDMI 2.
try the second one.
Try rebooting.
Plug in the USB port.
Yeah,
If
but
not,
Kevin,
ask Kevin.
I'm trying to ask Kevin, but ask Kevin. What did you think of Dev's turnabout? Phase here, and that he's his face turn. Where he becomes.
The fact that you even call it that means you've been tricked again. He is still the villain. Also, why didn't he die? He's standing on top of that thing, holding the bunny ears out, trying to get Channel 3, which was fucking stupid to begin with. Why couldn't they just have him fall? Please. I've had enough of this guy. I've had enough of watching this guy stare out of windows or stare at screens like he's thinking something profound. I can't deal with it anymore.
He's having meaningful thoughts, Kevin.
As the Magas would say.
This is a visionary. This is this great man.
Remember, everybody's playing checkers and Dev's playing chess.
3D chess.
Maybe 5-dimensional, 6-dimensional. Who knows? Like how many?
Whole season, his whole character is just standing in his power pose, staring out the window, saying nothing.
Don't forget clenching his jaw.
Do you think he meant it when he says he believes in the people of Mars and he made a big
God,
mistake?
no.
No, it's hard to believe him. Like, and like Alex is giving him all the shit here, but like, yeah, you killed my friend and you like nearly killed me and you stole all the medical supplies and you would ultimately like the escalation of that conflict with like the with what's his name? Yeah, the MPK guy, Palmer, and all that. Like all that just led to even more bloodshed and more conflict here.
This is like Dev waking up with a hangover. I'm never going to drink again.
I've changed. Alex, I'm a different guy now.
Until he thinks of his new idea that
Yep.
And Alex is like, I need to bring back these medical supplies, and Dev's like, don't worry, I'll just get my security guy to do it for me. Like, you don't even need to worry about that.
I don't know why you guys are all so down on Dev, man. Like, he didn't kill anybody this episode.
Not this episode, but like
Miles has a way higher kill rate.
You could make the argument that everyone who died in this episode is kind of the result of his actions.
Well, actually, this whole thing about the children of Mars came from him because he's the one who wanted to automate the planet.
Yeah.
Right. And he hit it, and then, it gets out, and then he fights them more because he wanted to build his little utopia or whatever it was.
And was the instigator of the original takeover, like the original
heist.
In 2003.
Yeah. Right. Anyway.
I think he's an okay guy.
You got Margot here listening to more radio. I gotta yada through this. Then she meets up with the latest daughter to say, I couldn't do anything. I tried, but I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, another useless scene.
Useless. Pointless.
Did she try? She's still got teeth in her head. She didn't try at all to contact anyone.
I feel like this season is telling us that Elena is better than Margot.
Well, we kind of knew that.
Arena, not Elena.
Arena's way more effective. I'll give her that. I would rather have Arena on my side than Margot. Yeah, but at least at this time. Anyway, then back to Titan. We got the goodbyes here between the crew. Kelly, gives Walt a hug. They've had an interesting path, but then they zip up and say goodbye to Kelly as Kelly's left.
Wouldn't it have made more sense? Like, she had O2, right? Like wouldn't it have made more sense for her just to try to walk and then they could have? I don't know. I guess they had to top up their tanks and their suits so that they could make that trip back. Like, couldn't they have gotten to Sojourner and then try to move Sojourner at least a little closer and maybe save her? I don't know. Like, none of that's really explained, but this can't be
20 kilometers away, right? So
20, yeah,
20.
Yeah,
There really wasn't the Matt Damon try for anything kind of feeling here.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a way.
There might have been a way, and they didn't. But they're like, no, there's no way. So Kelly has to freeze to death.
Kelly wants
Matt Damon would have found a way, and you know who else would have found a way? Ryan Gosling and Rocky.
Right.
Yeah.
Matt Damon in Interstellar and The Martian would have found a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then back to Mars. We got Aleda and Arena going to see Dev. They walk right up to Dev's door.
I did like this scene though, where they're like, who are you? And she's like,
who's
"I'm the
there?
fucking CEO."
The fucking CEO. And then she like walks in and like Dev's like, what can I do for you, Aleda? And she's like, nothing. I want to use your computer. Piss off. And then she goes
fuck
in.
you. I own this place, bitch.
Yeah, she gets on the computer. They reactivate it, but they can't. There's still a signal problem or something, right? And then Dev's like,
is using all the bandwidth because he's.
Dev's like, I'm really cut, man. I'm really fit. You know, I can totally climb that space elevator thing.
Yeah, been thinking about it.
Yeah,
I never thought about these other satellites you're talking. That didn't come across my head. Even though you have backs.
Yeah, with all this technology. Wouldn't they have just made the antenna bigger to know that they might come into this problem eventually?
I guess not. Okay, then back. We have another scene here with AJ reuniting with her soldiers, basically, and she meets up with this
thing we didn't need.
This was kind of whatever for me. Like, I thought she was good actually. Like when she finds the unit and then. She kind of talks a little bit about Haskell and everything else, but I thought she was actually going to turn the other way and not go with her unit. And
Can
do
somebody
something
explain to me anything that she's done in this entire season that was useful
or important?
Yeah.
Not really.
What was the point of this character?
I think Jeff might be right that she's meant for the next season more than she's meant for this season.
Maybe,
but yeah.
Oh,
I wanted her to
build-up,
go
great.
nuts. Sorry.
I said, great, more build-up, more setting the scene.
Don't discount the build-up for All Mankind. It's what they do.
We're going to have to sit on this for 2 years, Kevin.
Yeah. Then we go back to Dev and Aleda and all them, and they're trying to figure out how they're going to get that. They get some information from the through the communication satellite. They basically get some video files from Irina's KGB guy, who explains there have been dramatic developments back in the M6 nations. We head back over here to AJ and the soldiers as they come down the promenade. They meet up with some more soldiers who are also lost because the Marzies changed all the signage, and they don't want to follow the blueprint. And then AJ is always one step ahead of everyone else. She's the first to kind of spot there's something wrong with this situation. Like anybody with tactical training would know. If you go into a position like this on a lower level with a bunch of elevated positions where people can hide behind stuff, that you're probably subject to an ambush. But hey, I'm no Marine. And that's because they call it out here, and before they know it, they're surrounded. Mexican standoff style. This reminded me of that scene in The Rock, where it's Ed Harris's Marines get the jump on all the Navy SEALs.
But way better in The Rock.
It's way better done. It's done way better in The Rock because they're like
Rock, the one with Alcatraz.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that scene is pretty awesome. We got Ed Harris and Michael Biehn yelling at each other. It's pretty awesome.
He's like, "Drop your weapon! You drop your weapon!" And then they're going. This was,
and it was all in a bathroom, prison bathroom.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, but did it have a really rich dude staring out a window pensively for 45 minutes of the movie?
Definitely not.
Well, Ed Harris.
Not interested.
It had, he actually, that is pretty much what Ed Harris did most of that.
That's
movie.
pretty much all he did in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did just stare out the window, but then he also had some nice, angry phone calls with the president and whoever.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Anyway, then back here, what's going on here with Arena and Aleda? Is this where Dev's like, I'm going to go out there and climb the ladder, and I'm going to get a signal up here with the rabbit ears. And then Alex is like, I need to get somewhere quick. How am I going to get to the other side of the base? Like we said, we thought he'd crawl through vents. No, he's going to use his motorcycle.
Vroom vroom! Now
Vroom,
vroom!
vroom. Isn't this exciting? Yeah. Anyway.
Look at Kevin.
The thing only does 34 kilometers an hour too, so it's clearly
It's
an e-bike.
cute. He's having a nice time.
This thing's meant for outside, but yeah, I can work inside.
Anyway. He's breaking the rules, Dave.
He's a maverick.
That doesn't happen on this station.
Yeah. I thought like okay, then we have like Dev actually climbing this like crane and going up to the top here. I thought visually it looked cool, you know, in terms of like the nighttime here on Mars and him having to get up there and climb up. But I guess to give him a moment of redemption, not for Kevin, but maybe for other audience members.
Nobody was like, "Yeah, go Dev." Like nobody's watching this. Like everyone's like,
Most of us were like, "Oh God, I hope he falls off."
Yeah,
Why are they taking so long to climb the tower? Just get up there.
Get up there, like, and like the lady's like, "Are you up there yet?" He's like, "Well, almost." Back to the whole gun thing here on the promenade. Everyone's pointing guns at each other. Nobody wants to stand down.
It's the dominade, by the way.
The dominade. It's getting tense, and then like Batman, these Marines like they use like a smoke grenade to escape into like the restaurant, which I guess was a bad.
They would have shot.
Yeah, I think this could have led to.
Yeah, the minute that cloud started showing up, they would have just blindly shot.
They probably would have started shooting, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's not what happens here. Like the soldiers are able to get into this. This is the restaurant, right? Like this is like the Miles and Ilya's restaurant. I think they get it, and they start taking cover in here.
Where Baldwin had
Did they find him?
Maybe here. So more fighting here. Alex is on his way. He needs to tell everyone there's a ceasefire so that everyone will stop fighing.
Like it's in sport battery mode, which means he's only going to be able to drive this for about 6 minutes.
Yeah. Doesn't have to go that far. But anyway, the people are fighting. And if only they knew that the governments on Earth had told them to stop fighting, then none of this would be necessary. But people are getting shot. Meanwhile, Dev's climbing the crane. You got Aleda looking through her binoculars. Alex is nearly running people over with his motorcycle.
And this goes on for a solid 8 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a long time. They're shooting more shooting, more bang bang. Can't get comms. Alex shows up. He runs over. He wants to get to Miles, and then this guy was going to shoot Alex, but AJ stopped him. They're like, "What the hell?" You got Dev with the rabbit ears, trying to get the signal. Can they get the signal?
It's a satellite array, not rabbit ears.
They were really trying to get all this to converge to make it really exciting, right? All here in the climax.
They did try to, yes, but they failed miserably at it.
Yeah. Oh, the signal's connected. We're able to, and now the soldiers, they can find out there's a ceasefire because AJ gets on the little, soldier phone and is able to get that. Now Miles has been told by Alex about the ceasefire, and both sides are able to order stop firing, and the fighting can stop, and everything else. Isn't that nice?
Yay! Ceasefire.
Whoopee. Meanwhile, the sun comes up. It's morning now on Mars. Aleda and Irina looking out the window here together.
Well, Dev went up the towers, so now it's their turn to stare pensively.
Now they stare out the window pensively.
It's just reminded me of the Total Recall with Schwarzenegger.
A little bit, yeah, for sure.
Once the air showed up, everybody was like,
staring at the fucking sun.
He's looking out. He's looking through the window of his suit, Kevin.
Black ocean, won't you come
yeah,
and wash away the rain. All right, there you go.
I don't do good with heights. I wouldn't like to have done what Dev did here, but he's looking over at the whole Happy Valley, and everything else.
Looks kind of happy now.
Looks happy. Who's happy now, motherfucker?
You know what would make it happier? Less people.
Less people. The right kind of people.
Just him, Alex, and some robots. That's what he was trying to.
That's what he wanted. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think this is a sex thing?
No.
It's a sex thing.
Everything's a sex thing for Jody. But anyway, back on Titan, I guess Walt and the German lady, they make it back to Sojourner.
Walton's a German.
They're a little happy, I think, for people who just, had their crewmate die, but whatever. They made it.
Well,
they're not going to die themselves.
They didn't like Kelly either.
So they make their way. We see that the revelation of the life on on Titan is revealed back to Earth. And we see Aleda and the Moxie people sometime later, I guess, celebrating all that. We get some headlines here about honoring the fallen colleague. I guess this was about Kelly having passed away.
And you know what I didn't catch the first time? Oh no, never mind. I misread. I thought it said returns to a familiar space. I was reading that as she is returning to Earth, but it's just her and the Moxie. And then President Miles Dale.
Yeah, he's no governor. He's a president. Everyone, you know.
Well, they got their independence now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Republic of Mars.
He's a beacon of hope.
The life discovered on Mars or Titan, sorry. Featured here. More here. It's a montage. So we got Margot and the daughter. We got Miles swearing on a Bible to become the new president of Mars.
Do we know it's a Bible? It could be the Anarchist Cookbook. We don't know.
It's the Mars Bible.
It's the Mars Bible. It's written in Martian.
It's red.
So
doesn't matter what book it is.
It's true.
Doesn't matter. He's the other people. I guess, is that the flag of Mars? Just that apple tree on. That's a pretty ugly looking flag. Can we all agree on that?
They must have had like a school contest or something.
Like, who would like to decide the flag for Mars? They're like, how about a black stripe, a green stripe, and a purple stripe? That's good.
They just took a picture of what that tree looks like in that little vestibule. Where they have.
Yeah. I feel like that
black
might be the Happy Valley flag, not the Mars flag.
Maybe, but
it looks like a municipal flag more to me.
It does. Anyway, and even Leonid is part of this, and the wife's happy, the daughter's happy. Who can't be happy? They have a little memorial now for all the people that died during the
burned alive. Yeah.
I don't know if any of the soldiers' names made it onto here, if it was just like Happy Valley people.
Yeah.
As we see Boyd looking down in the memory of those who gave their lives for
she
free
finally
Mars.
isn't consummated anymore.
No, she's less so. And then we got Alex, who I thought was Alex riding the motorcycle, but then we find out it's not Alex. It's actually AJ.
However, did we notice that her nameplate now reads Stevens instead of Jared?
Yeah. So she's not running from her Stevens past as she visits where the old Korean module where her father died, right?
No, she's not running from it. She's going to lean into the insanity now.
Yeah. She's like, I am a Stevens. Just watch.
This place has been calling me.
Is he still in there?
I hope so.
Maybe. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
I think they buried him right outside of it.
Oh, that would be great though if he was in there mummified and he hadn't changed.
That would have been the finale.
Like, Dad, I missed you.
Oh my God, I would love that. Like not just so she could see his face like that.
Just in a mummified Danny Stevens. Yes. Okay. See, this is what's happened, Heather. We got to this point where this
is what we need from this show.
Yeah, we need some things. Anyway, we got Dev. Now he's planting crops with Lee and a bunch of the Marsies. He's.
It's how you can see he's just one of the guys now.
I guess he's been forgiven.
He's telling the story about when he blew out the window. Remember when I blew out the window up there?
Remember when I killed those people and gave the rest of you?
Wait, you guys want to do a flash mob this weekend?
Hey, I would have flash mob.
What you don't see is him burying all the landmines.
Yeah. And then to finish it off, we have Kelly giving her goodbye message to Alex, which is played here, and I don't know, it goes on for a while. It was kind of playing over the montage, really.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It wasn't well written. It wasn't overly well.
It didn't hit as hard as it should have.
No, it was this is a big moment for the you're ending the character that should been around for a while. It should be kind of an important moment, and it just fell flat for me. It was very well produced. They had great music, and they were really trying to swell it up, and it just did not work. For me,
yeah, it was the weekend.
Oh, they're using the weekend song.
It was the weekend.
I think it's because this Titan stuff was not the main focus of the season,
and it should have been.
And now the end it is. What? Again, this show is a fucking mess this season.
Yeah, it really is. It's a mess of narrative.
Yeah.
Tell a story.
Throw things to the board and see what sticks. Yeah.
Don't tell two stories that never and you purposely are they can't talk to each other. God.
Till the end. Yeah. Anyway, Alex is now he's lost his grandfather and his mother within maybe a year or something.
He's got Lily.
He's got Lily though, and are they doing it? Well, that's the real big question. Haskell will get to the bottom.
They got to make another Baldwin.
Yeah, we
Run
need
out of
another
Baldwins.
We need a Baldwin Dale offspring.
We gotta get to season
emerge.
10.
Yeah.
It'll be 2100 by the time this show's over.
And then we see here, it's still Kelly, I guess, giving her little goodbye message to Alex. Is like we see her with like the plaque that that was meant for Apollo 11 in this timeline, but was never used because they weren't the first ones on the moon in this
Instead of being
timeline.
on a planet, it's now on a moon.
Right, and it ends up here on Titan, and I don't know.
It's
This stuff hit a little harder for me because it was like
Yeah.
nice to see that again.
Me too.
The For All Mankind, we came in peace for all mankind, being the big line there, the name of the
Gotta
show.
sick of seeing the plaque.
Well, this
I
is
mean,
probably
I'm
the
sick
last
of
time.
seeing the plaque. They've used it 15 times already. I'm just-
Yeah. Whoever did the props on that was they got their money's worth out of that.
Anyway, Kelly, she brings out the plaque to the lake, the methane lake of extraterrestrial algae, and don't worry, you won't have to see it again. Actually, you probably will. I'll probably come back to this very
Somebody
same
will
spot.
step on it after they establish a base on Titan.
Yeah. And then as I guess she's run out of air at this point, and she sees the algae glowing in the lake
which means
here.
something's disturbing it over there.
You know what though? I think you're right though. She had a lot of time to walk back.
It's like seemingly she did, right? But a 20-kilometer walk would probably take her at least an hour and a half. So
Gravity's lighter there, right? So
it would take most people about 2 hours to walk
Quicker.
it on. Yeah, you'd be a little quicker. How much quicker? I'm not really sure. But anyway,
You can't walk 10 kilometers in an hour.
you can walk 10 kilometers in an hour.
I can't.
I walk like 15 kilometers a day, and it usually takes me like 3 hours.
You
So
can
maybe-
definitely walk 10 kilometers in an hour.
Yeah, I mean,
you
more
gotta
like a
be
run.
moving.
You gotta be moving. You got. But if you're going for your life, you might want to
Yeah.
move at a
If you're
good
running
pace.
out of, you gotta like walk like you're running out of air.
Yeah,
That's a good point. I feel like I could hustle 10 kilometers in an hour if I didn't have any.
and you do have to, and you wouldn't have to work as hard to move that distance. But yeah.
Sorry, maybe not an hour, maybe an hour 20, but
Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
I would
Kelly,
just stay behind just so I didn't have to walk the 20 kilometers. You guys go ahead.
all good. Don't need it that bad, Anyway, but Kelly decides she's going to walk into the lake here, and like on Earth, we know that there are algae that can be activated by like movement like this. Like I think in Australia and some other places, and maybe in
South Pacific.
the South Pacific. So it's not like scientifically impossible that this is happening. Although I did think about how cold that lake probably is, and how it probably I don't know how cold proof her suit is, but it would.
I don't know. Is it as cold as death? Because she's gonna be there real soon.
Right, but it almost you think it would freeze right through her rubber on the boots.
So
and
just
stuff.
so you know, the average person walks 5 kilometers an hour.
Mhm.
So it would take on average about 120 minutes,
It's
90 to 120 minutes to do 10 kilometers.
And it's 20 kilometers, so double it, right? So
Yeah.
So that's how long.
A fast walk is about 6.5 kilometers an hour
Okay. On Earth.
on Earth.
Yeah,
Now-
well, that she does mention the gravity.
70% of the gravity. So
You can move
No, it's-
faster, right?
Or 1/7. It's 1/7 of the
So
gravity.
you can move faster, right? There's less resistance.
well,
Yeah.
less resistance. Yeah.
You could you know how you see Neil Armstrong in the videos hopping,
Yeah.
they could hop back. It's
Yeah, they don't show that in the show.
No, I think it's a problem. It's,
It's a miss.
because it seems like the gravity is the same on Titan, Mars, and the Moon. It's always the same. I actually thought it was cool in season 1 how they showed the moving objects and stuff with the lower gravity, and then they never did it again because we're shooting this show on Earth. What do you want us to do? Do a gravity effect all the time?
They spent all
Yes.
the money on the plaque. They didn't have any gravity budget left.
They spend all anyway. The show.
I had 2 thoughts while she was doing this. First, I thought if she turns into a founder, I'm fucking out on this show.
That would have made me go
love
in.
that.
So that's where I was
Thank you for
getting
it.
with the alien reference with
Yeah.
Covenant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Very
then
much
I
like that.
thought It would be awesome. They just found life on Mars and it's this algae, but it would actually be awesome if like an octopus pulled her under the water or something as the last scene.
Yes. That would have been
I want to know
hilarious.
what was bugging out the algae on the other side. That's what I want to know.
Well, you got to go back to find out, Jody. We're going to
Maybe we'll find out in season 6.
Maybe.
Maybe it's an octopus, Jody.
I hope so.
an octopus's garden, if you will. Anyway, so then we get the weekend song. It's Blinded by the Light, which is a good song,
No,
you know.
it is not Blinded
It's
by the
Blinded
Light. That is
Blinding
not the
Light.
weekend.
Blinding light.
But it's a lyric of the song, Blinding Lights, I guess.
No,
is-
Blinded
is-
by the Light is a completely different song.
I know. Okay, so
It doesn't make sense at the end of the season.
No.
No, I didn't really. I when like last season at the end they used Midnight City, right, by M83, and like I was like, okay, Midnight City makes sense with like
That made more
Kuznetsov's
sense.
Station,
Yeah.
right? But like I didn't really understand why they picked this song here for the
Well, they
end.
saved all the budget, and somebody goes, "We got to pay the weekend a lot of money, so don't spend any money on any other music
It
because they
made
haven't
yeah.
done that."
perfect sense at the end of this season
I should have used Rocket Man.
because it makes no fucking sense, and this season is a mess. That's
Yeah.
the perfect end.
It's the
And then we pull up from Titan, we go over here to Saturn and past the rings of Saturn, just to be pulled, even further down, and we find the old Soviet Mars ship that was abandoned in season 3
I can't
Is-
do that, Dave.
is here. It's Mars 94. Is that what they called it?
Yeah.
And we see like
that's the original Russian ship from season
Yeah.
3.
since season
yeah.
3,
Okay,
the one they had to
I wonder what it
abandon.
was.
Yeah,
I knew it
and we
was
see
there.
that it's going to be brought back. I guess
Is this
for
the one
se-
that had like the crushed that crew person?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a good scene.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
Remember
Uh,
when this show
I miss
had
when
good
guys-
scenes?
Died from
Yes, you
cables.
ghouls all loved it when that astronaut got
Ghouls.
crushed.
Oh, we loved it. We were like, what did we call her? Crushy or something?
Something
Or squishy?
happened. We were
It-
Squishy.
yeah.
Squishy
R.I.P.
Squisherton.
So, and then we see that the lights turn on. I guess that's why they picked the weekend song here, because it's about lights and this Soviet system booting. I don't know, like if this was supposed to.
So the translation to this is just GW something, which people are saying it's like gravity being detected.
Loading.
Load in like the Soviet
The
DOS
bottom-
or whatever
I looked
this
it up
is.
as well, and the bottom word is loading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, and that is that's the end of the season and the episode, everyone. So,
Thank God.
Okay, so let's just preempt here. There's no fun or sexy facts, but I thought I'd share with you
Aw.
some other things.
Are they sexy?
They are neither fun nor.
they're not fun or sexy. But what then? What, Kev or Adam? What do we
Well,
get?
actually, they're kind of could be fun, but basically, what I took here is I took the top season 6 fan theories. We lost Dave again.
Yeah, Dave doesn't want to do it.
Dave's like, fuck
Dave's
that.
like, if it's not fun,
He's
or
like,
sexy,
All right, tell you what. I'm
fucking
now
out.
in charge. I'm the captain now. You go ahead and do it.
I'm going to. There. Whoa,
Hi.
what's going on here?
Yeah.
I
Alright.
don't know.
All right. Hey, by the way, Dave, you're back. I thought you
I'm
were
back.
really unhappy with the way I was going tonight.
No,
I am.
no. When I opened up the spreadsheet, it dropped me out for some reason.
So what's going on? I'm going to take the top season 6 fan theories. By the way, I looked up when we can expect season 6.
Yes.
They're saying late 27, early 28.
So we got like at least a year and a half, probably.
At least a year and a half. Yeah.
I'll forget how bad this season was by
I
then.
know. Well, I won't. And
I will never.
I'm
And then
not
I'll
gonna
be reminded when they give me the recap.
Yeah, I wonder what year we'll be at. All right. Okay,
2020.
season 6 go through. Okay, here's number 1. Season 6 goes through a full science fiction type season with Titan and First Contact. Humanity will detect complex life, not just microbes on Titan. So the show's long-term roadmap towards the stars will finally come true. We already saw that Mars 94 is reactivated, and the creators are hinting at a final season that just basically has, fulfilled the planned arc. Number 2, Mars 94 isn't just a tease; it's the main plot engine. Fans propose 3 possibilities. Mars 94 has detected alien life. It may have picked up a Titan origin signal, a deep space anomaly, or evidence of intelligent life. Mars 94 is carrying something dangerous. Some fans think it contains dormant biological samples, Cold War era AI, or a nuclear payload that becomes a crisis for everybody to have to solve.
All of those things would be more exciting than most of the plot lines in the previous seasons. So I'm all for it.
Yep. And then Mars 94 becomes a first interstellar probe, which is a very optimistic theory. It becomes a launch pad for humanity's first mission beyond the solar system.
Because didn't like their nuclear reactor melt down? That's why they had to abandon the ship, right? And
Yes.
and so like I don't even know if people could even approach it again without getting irradiated.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, that's what's going to happen. It's going to crash into Titan, and then it's going to radiate those little amoebas and make those sentient octopuses that we were talking about earlier.
Yes, they've taken over Mars 94. I would watch the hell out of that.
If they could, I guess if they could remote control it, right? That's the idea. Maybe, sure.
Mars becomes the Cold War battleground again. Even with Independence fans expect that Earth nations will be meddling in Mars. Helios will fracture. I think that's already happened. M6 veterans to perform a political faction, and then Mars has a Civil War 2.0. Alex will become the new protagonist.
Another war on Mars? God,
no, we can't. I can't handle that. Not again. No.
Oh, if they do another war on Mars, I'm out. I'm not watching this shit again. Just told you
a war in
that now.
Titan. We gotta have a war in Titan now.
Yeah.
And then finally, season 6 ends with humanity leaving the solar system.
Well, there's.
I like how they do leave open up this this possibility of like there's life everywhere, not just in this solar system but beyond, and like I get if this show like actually wants to springboard into something more truly science fiction, I would be more excited about that. At this point, like
it started off like that.
Yeah.
Kinda.
So here's the most likely combination based on what people are saying. There'll be a major time jump, basically to 2030 or 40. They'll definitely have another Titan mission led by Alex.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Are they going to recast Alex then, or are they going to keep that actor?
I guess they'd have. I mean, because he'd be 10 years older.
Like Kelly,
Ed Baldwin up to 300. So
they've had Kelly since like 1982, and this was in 2012. So it was like what 40 years later. Like
30.
Yeah, they can age people badly, but they can do it.
So give Alex a little gray hair. Done.
That's all they did with his father.
That's true.
Yeah. A first contact or deep space discovery will happen, and there'll be a definitive ending for humanity's place in the cosmos. I cannot believe they would wrap it up that simply.
No. But they might have. They have to. They only get one more season, and they know they only have one more season. So maybe they do something more exciting. Plus, they also have like this spin-off, right? The Star City, which I have not watched. I have not watched. It's like how their message today that's getting good reviews, but I don't know. Do you want to? Because I think it starts in the '60s, right? And you see everything from the Soviets' point of view that we didn't see in season 1.
Basically, just retelling of this, but
I think we need a break from this, guys.
Yeah, I figured you would say that. So maybe as we're leading up to season 6 or something. But
I think we should do Firefly.
I thought that would be the vote. But before we get to all that, everyone, let's first rate this episode and close out season 5 here, which I know has been a long 10 weeks for us.
There was still snow on the ground when we started this.
There was. Okay, so let's bring in the rating sheet. 1 sec. Put a score down. Now, if you can believe it, the IMDb score for this episode is 8.4, everyone.
Yeah, you know what? They always do that. They're very high to begin with, and then they fall like a stone.
Because the only people that are supporting it are the people that are jumping on IMDb right away.
With 568 votes.
That's a lot, actually.
Yeah.
People really like the shows with a lot of shooting and yelling.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, Does that also translate to you, Jody? Do you like the show because it's shooting and yelling?
No.
What's your rating?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I think it was a little bit better than last week's, but marginally. I'm gonna go with maybe a 6. And even
Okay.
that's feeling kind of weird.
Adam?
Yeah, 5. I don't care. It's
Okay.
It's lettuce.
Literally, that was exactly what I was going to say. 5, I don't care. So you can put that down for me as well.
I care a little, so I'll go 6.5.
You just had to be over me.
Well, I'm going to give it my average for this season, 3.8. It was the perfect end to this mess of a season. It should, like most of the episodes in this season, affect nothing.
And Jeff?
I don't know. Well, we'll give it a 6. I feel like I'm with Jody.
A 6.
Hey, Dave, can we just go back? Can you go to, just to give you some IMDb updates, go back
Sure.
to No Sudden Moves?
Yep.
7. Sirens is now an 8. Brave New World is now, sorry, where are we here? Sirens, Brave New World. No, Sirens, oh, sorry, I missed one. No Sudden Moves. Did I do that one?
Yeah.
You did.
Is a 7. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong. Okay, got it. Sirens is an 8. Brave New World is a 7.8 now.
Gone down.
And Sons and Daughters now 7.5.
Also gone down. Okay, so
All
the average for-
no standards.
It's really highly rated, eh? Like,
I think we've watched all 5 seasons. Like, I guess we're not in the core fan base, but there are probably the people, the true
the first 3
enthusiasts.
seasons I really enjoyed.
Yeah, like, and we can see here that this season, on average, we averaged a 5.8 this season, which is by far the lowest of all the seasons for us. Even lower than season 4, which we were not super thrilled with either. And the first, season 1 and 3 still remain our favorite seasons, as it would make sense here. Yeah, this episode tonight we averaged a 5.4. Even though the 8.4 on IMDb, gives a little bit of contrast there. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it, everyone. That's it. I know it hasn't been easy on all of us. So thank you for your time.
it's still one of the best things about Mondays, guys, spending time with you.
Yes.
So
That's the
always
only thing
appreciate
that got me still watching this show.
and we did have a little discussion. We started on there what we want to do now that this is over. I think we're saying probably not Star City. That's probably not what we want. We don't want to
done
dive
with this universe for a while.
for a little while at least. And we've talked about Firefly. We've talked about Battlestar Galactica and Babylon 5. I don't know what everyone else
talked about.
Nobody
Babylon
has
5.
talked about Babylon 5, Dave.
You did. No one else did.
I thought there was some chatter. I thought there was some excitement building.
That chatter was all your inner monologue. That's all.
you know what, Dave? I would do Babylon 5 because I never ever have given it the time of day, but
Mhm.
I need a break from into something I might like for a while.
Yeah, I
So why
don't
do
know.
you want to watch Babylon 5?
Well, it's 5
Well, that's-
seasons.
I don't know anything about it, so I'm not ready to commit.
Babylon 5 would
It is
take
a
us
big
about
commitment.
it would take us about 2 years to do
Oh,
it.
no.
So
Yeah,
it's
I'm not
it's
invested in that.
right.
At all.
Now Firefly is attractive because it's only 13 episodes and we can do it and and finish it. And Battlestar
never seen it.
is also a big commitment to get into.
It's
'cause
4 seasons, and they're like 23 episodes a season.
right.
It's
So
big.
So
That
it
would take us-
2 years.
about 2 years. So do we want to do something short and sweet? Do we want to do some Firefly next? Does that sound like fun?
I
Unless
vote
there's-
for Firefly because it's short, it's sweet. I watched Battlestar for the first time recently and I loved it. However, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real heavy, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Firefly for one season. And how many of us have seen Firefly? I haven't.
I haven't.
I've only seen a couple episodes. Not
I've
the whole
seen
thing.
the whole series.
All right.
So
I started
I
watching
think
it,
that
but I
would
didn't know
be
we were
really
going to do it. So glad I
fun.
didn't watch anymore.
All right. Well then, Jeff, are you down with
What do you
Firefly?
think? Babylon 5.
It's one season, isn't it? Firefly.
One season, 13 episodes or something.
Well, there's also a movie as well. We should.
We should do
season
I
the
never
movie.
watched it, so yeah, sure.
Is the movie first, Jody, or
No, the movie's after.
okay?
movies after. Okay. Everyone's agreed. Everyone's turning their keys. Okay, so let's do it. All right. So look out for Firefly here on Monday nights. Also, we are coming back this Thursday with our Star Trek: The Next Generation reviews. We've been doing a lot of them. I know Heather doesn't like the picture, but look out for Reunion this Thursday.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Alex is revolting. Oh. Alexandra.
Take it off, Dave.
Alexandra is the worst.
Anyway, look
Why is it
at
every show we review has an Alex and they all suck?
well, that's a question as well. So look out for that. Also, we just wrapped up Survivor 50 on the Super Mario Brothers podcast, finishing out with episode 13, Reverse the Curse. If you love Survivor, which I know this whole panel does, go check out our Survivor podcast, especially
I
Adam.
was just thinking about how much I love it.
Yeah.
Right up there with this show.
It just cracks me up.
Get ready for 51. It's coming
Oh,
This fall.
tomorrow? Like
this fall. This
Probably.
fall. Yeah,
They do like
all right.
8 seasons a year or something.
Okay, well, if that's all for tonight, guys, we can sign off. I want to thank everyone for being with us, and we will be back for season 6, whether we like it or not. We will be back for
You
it.
can't
So,
make me.
and check us out whenever that comes. There's
I
a
have
lot of
no
shows.
contract. I'm a free agent.
That's right. Okay, well, see you next
Thanks
time, everyone.
everybody in chat for joining us tonight, and happy Pride Month, everybody.
Happy Pride Month. All
Love
right,
on the
enjoy.
podcast gaily.
Love
See you
all.
next time.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mario Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.